The World Health Organization says it has verified 13 attacks on healthcare institutions in Iran as joint U.S.-Israeli airstrikes continue. It also said 4 healthcare workers had been killed and 25 others injured. Meanwhile, Iran has warned that the U.S. will regret sinking its warship off the coast of Sri Lanka. The warship was targeted in international waters while returning from a naval exercise in the Bay of Bengal. According to Sri Lankan officials, over 80 Iranian sailors were killed. In Lebanon, the Israeli military has ordered residents in Beirut's southern suburbs to evacuate immediately, marking the first full evacuation of the area. Let's get more on this. Adel Al-Mahroui is in Beirut live with the very latest. Adel, welcome to the program. Thank you for joining us here on Africa Live. Adel, what is the situation in Lebanon, especially the southern suburbs? What do we know?
So let me start. The fighting basically is going on 2 areas. In the Lebanese capital, Beirut, where the southern district is under heavy attack and has been cleared to be evacuated. But let me start with the southern territories of Lebanon, that borders northern Israel. This is where the bombing has been intensifying day by day. Israel gave an order to evacuate the entire southern territories of Lebanon. People have been displaced, moving north to flee the bombardment, but this basically, the declaration itself to clear this entire vast area is to declare it an official war zone where Israel can hit any target without giving prior warnings, unlike what happens here in the Lebanese capital, Beirut. The fighting has been intensified. Several parts of and several cities have been heavily bombarded. Hezbollah, on the other hand, the Lebanese armed resistance group, announced that today, so far, it has launched about 4 attacks into Israel, successfully, according to the group, hitting several parts, including a group of Israeli soldiers and a complex of industrial military zone inside Israel. This is just seems to be like the beginning of a very hard confrontation between both sides as Hezbollah braces to join Iran in the fight against Israel and the United States. And it seems that this is just getting started. Neither Israel nor Hezbollah, from their statements, appear to be backing down or trying to resort to any kind of negotiation at this stage.
Adel, let's zero in on the evacuation orders, if you will. We understand that Beirut traffic has surged after Israel's army's warnings prompts residents to evacuate the city's southern suburbs. What more can you tell us on that?
So the city's southern suburbs is made out of 4 suburbs or 4 districts. All of them have been warned to evacuate immediately and without any delay, or they will face death, as described by the spokesman of the Israeli Defense Forces. And because of that severe threat, people started evacuating immediately, causing paralysis in the entire streets of the capital, as 2 main roads, north and east of the capital, Beirut, have been packed with people leaving the suburbs, and therefore the entire capital has been frozen for a couple of hours. Things are now a bit better. That was only after the Lebanese armed forces took the streets to help in organizing the traffic and manage how people and where people should go to unresolve this huge traffic issue. As things go normal, people are now bracing for what is next. This is the first time ever that Israel issues a warning to clear the entire Beirut southern districts, all 4 of them. During the 2024 war, where the fighting has been way more intense than what we're seeing now, Israel has never given such a command to clear all the entire districts, even when it targeted the leaders of Hezbollah, killing Hassan Nasrallah back then. So it seems that people are quite panicking about the magnitude of the threat because they've never seen it, at least during the past 3 years, and they're bracing for the impact to see when and how will Israel warn, because with that warning it seems also that Israel is going to attack many parts without giving prior warning, as it used to be. So now both the southern districts and the southern territories in Lebanon as a country are under open war and open strikes by Israel.
All right, Adel Al-Mahroui, very important point that you have highlighted there for us. Thanks very much. Moving along, hundreds of people have been killed across the Middle East since the U.S. and Israel attacked Iran on Saturday. Here's the death toll from strikes as reported by countries. In Iran, at least 1,200 people and 1,230 people have died. This includes 175 schoolgirls and staff who were killed in a missile strike on a primary school in Minab in the south of the country. And it's unclear if the deaths include military casualties. In Israel, 10 civilians have been killed. However, the Israeli army has not reported any military casualties. The U.S. Central Command says 6 of its service members were killed in a strike on a facility in Kuwait. In Lebanon, Israeli strikes have killed at least 77 people, while 1 person has died in Bahrain after a fire broke out when a missile was intercepted. Health registration data in Iraq shows at least 13 people have been killed, including militiamen, a soldier, and a civilian. Kuwait's Health and Foreign Ministry say 3 people, including 2 soldiers, died in Iranian attacks. The United Arab Emirates has also recorded 3 deaths. In Oman, 1 person has died after a projectile hit an oil tanker, while Syria has reported 4 deaths after an Iranian missile struck a building. African governments have expressed mixed reactions to the ongoing U.S.-Israeli attack on Iran. Some states have condemned the strikes, others have stayed neutral, while others have criticized Iran for retaliating with attacks on U.S. allies in the region. CGTN's Daniel Arab-Moy reports.
From Cairo to Cape Town, the reaction has been a mix of legal condemnation, economic concerns, and strategic balancing. The African Union initially walked a fine diplomatic tightrope. Mahmoud Ali Yusuf expressed deep concern over the joint U.S.-Israeli strikes, urging restraint. However, the AU faced internal criticism for later condemning Iran's retaliation while remaining vague on the initial attacks. In Southern Africa, South Africa's Department of International Relations and Cooperation declared the U.S.-Israeli strikes a violation of the UN Charter, explicitly rejecting the doctrine of anticipatory self-defense. Namibia reiterated its firm commitment to the principles of sovereignty, territorial integrity, and non-interference in the internal affairs of states. And Mozambique's President Daniel Chapo held a phone call with his UAE counterpart where he reportedly voiced his strong condemnation of Iranian retaliatory strikes. In Egypt, the reaction has been mainly driven by economic issues. After Israeli gas flows were cut within 24 hours of the attack, Cairo scrambled to secure energy. While the government officially condemned Iran's retaliatory attacks on Gulf neighbors, domestic voices remain split over the U.S.-led operation. In West Africa, Nigeria and the ECOWAS bloc have focused on the global ripple effects. Abuja is calling for dialogue to prevent what it called a grave impact on international security, warning that the disruption of the Strait of Hormuz could paralyze African food and energy markets. In a statement from the country's Ministry of African Integration and Foreign Affairs, Senegal condemned the use of force as a threat to the sovereignty of states and global stability. And in the Central African region, Chadian President Mahamat Idris Deby expressed solidarity with Iran over the assassination of Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, but also condemned Tehran's retaliatory strikes on Gulf countries. Overall, the continent remains divided. While some leaders label the attack on Iran an aggression, many governments are weary of a total diplomatic rupture with Washington, even as they fear the economic fallout at home. Daniel Arap-Moy, CGTN.
Members of the Shia Muslim community in Nigeria have protested the killing of Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei by U.S. and Israeli strikes on Iran on Saturday. The protests, which took place in several northern states, were in solidarity with Iran.
Protesters chanted, waved flags, and held a portrait of Khamenei during the demonstrations in Minna, the capital of Niger State. They say his killing has triggered grief and anger, and they want an end to the attacks on Iran.
The continued attack on Iran should be stopped. They should stop killing our brothers. This action has been going on for too long and we can't continue. Even small children are targeted and killed. We condemn the attack.
Khamenei was killed on Saturday by US and Israeli strikes on Iran. Shia Muslims in Nigeria are a minority, and the Shia viewed Khamenei as a political authority and a source of religious guidance. The demonstrators say the killing of Iran's supreme leader is a turning point for the entire Islamic world.
Whatever they are doing, they are not attacking Iran alone. They are doing it against Islam. Because Iran has not done anything wrong. All we are concerned is they are fighting Islam and they will not succeed. This procession will continue until when they stop, both American and Israeli forces stop their crude way of doing things. Their attack on innocent people, their attack on innocent nations. What they have done is wrong.
Following the protests, the US deployed heavy security to its embassy in Abuja and issued a security alert to its citizens in Nigeria, urging them to stay alert. Caroline B., CGTN.